I think that's about good as enough that I got to work with. I don't know why. You know, you pay all that good money for a nice high def camera and it just shoots like crap. Maybe it just records like crap. Crap. I don't know, what does this magic button down here do? Filters? No filter. I don't want a filter. I don't need a filter. Okay. Try to give you a better overhead. I can't shoot from my toolbox because I get too much sunlight that comes in, and the ISO from the lighting just washes everything out. Uh, we got new camshafts, new cam carriers. Because I found one dead camshaft, I convinced them to get all new camshafts due to the low miles on this engine. This engine only has 80,000 miles. And with new camshaft comes new cam carriers. This These puppies were smoked. I mean, look at that. That's rowdy. Okay. Well, how did this happen? Well, customer didn't have a good history of oil changes for one, but I've seen customers with bad oil changes. Honestly, not cause this too much. Not that extensively. I am suspecting that the shop that was in this engine last did not torque any of this stuff down correctly. Because I have been just finding all kinds of improperly torqued stuff. As you heard me rant from the last live stream, there was valve cover bolts missing. There was just loose hardware all over the place. So I'm just going to chalk it up to say that these caps were not torqued properly, and that camshaft was just slopping around in there. So, yep, I'm going to have to pick up the slack. Hey, what's up? No. No, like to go inflate a tire or something? No. No, all they got, man, is like the bead blaster. That's it. Sorry, dude. Yeah, if we were at my house, I'd hook you up. I got one of those little battery powered ones. We used to have a whole bunch of them, but the porters lost them all. All our jump boxes used to have air compressors built in, but they lost all the jump boxes. And porters are dumb. You're not a porter, are you? Oh, get out of here! Yeah, now all our jump boxes, they got air tags on them. And we've already found one at a customer's house. Yeah. All right, good luck to you, man. Oh, man, it's one of our neighbor dealerships. Kids over here trying to find a way to inflate a tire on a car at a parking lot. He's not getting my Milwaukee inflator. No, sorry. Because that tool is not coming back, guys. I'm just going to be straight. It's not coming back. I don't know who he is. And I told the truth. We used to have jump boxes with built-in inflators. And that stuff doesn't exist anymore because it kept disappearing. They would leave that stuff in customer cars or Whatever the hell the excuse was. Yeah, that's why I asked him. I was like, he looked a little fresh, a little wet behind the ears. And I was like, wait a sec, are you a porter? And he's like, yeah. I was like, get the hell out of here. It's kind of nice. This comes with all new hardware too. All right. So, to teach you something about can caps here on Subarus. I'm not speaking for all manufacturers, just Subarus here. This is a cast design, and let me get this off so I can show you. Come on, a little stiff. All right, so this is all cast, and then it goes through a CNC machine to mill out the pieces that they need to have milled out, like the caps here. All right, so this piece is cast, then it's milled out, and then this is bored, and this is bored. These pieces are bored separately. Or I'm sorry, yeah, the the faces here are bored separately, but then they're stuck together, okay? And then the cylinder part that the shaft rides in, like right here, this is bored as one piece. So they don't bore the half moons. That's stupid because it's never going to be perfectly. It's never going to be a perfect circle. So just so you know, that is why these caps have a stamp on here. So this cap right here says 239. This says 239, 239, and this carrier says 239 because all this stuff is machined together. So you cannot steal caps from another carrier assembly. There's there's no journals for this stuff. It's when you mess that assembly up, you just have to get another one. These are not old hot rod days where everything was iron and you could just go get some aluminum bearings. Uh, that goes back to one of my other streams when I was explaining the differences between yesterday's cars and today's cars. Everyone has mentalities of taking care of today's cars like yesterday's cars. Well, yesterday's cars were designed with the idea of taking care of them for hundreds of thousands of miles. Okay? They were designed as if, dad was going to drive it to work for 5 years. Son or daughter was going to graduate high school and take it to college and raise their first family with it. It was going to be a multi-generational car. And so those days are gone. These these cars are going to the crushers now. These are no more valuable than a Bud Light can. Even for strong brands like mine, Subaru. And yes, I know. I am going to shim all this stuff. I got my way of doing it. I have no plans on shimming this by the book. I think I will glove up for this one though. There's gonna be a lot of sharp edges with these new cams, and my fingers, my palms are already a little bit rowdy. So it's like 105 degrees, and wearing nitrile gloves sucks right now. There we go. Okay, these phasers are held on by a eTorque 16. It's going to be a eTorques Plus. Yes, eTorques Plus does exist, ladies and gentlemen. You can get a good deal on them through Vim, even on the tool truck. I think this whole set right here with the magnet strip, I didn't pay more than like $125, and I love them. Yep, right through the nitrile. Son of a bitch. Yeah, okay. Lobes are sharp, baby. Yeah, see? Those lobes suck. Still bleeding. I don't got time to bleed though. Gotta make the customer happy. Oh, got me in the palm too. That's nice. Time you get cuts on your hands when working in automotive, uh, soak them in some warm Epsom salt for about 5 minutes. All right, right after work. Really good at killing infections. And then right before you go to bed, after your hands dry, uh, they sell it at the like the CVS and the Walgreens. They call it liquid stitch or liquid Band-Aid. This stuff's your best friend, man. It's like RTV for skin. Now, was I able to get this guy new phasers? The answer is no. I'm thinking. That's right. I need the left side. So right after I killed the stream, Wednesday, I think maybe, I did finish up this head and I cleaned it up and I put it on. So I did some work behind your back. If all goes well, we'll be able to get the other cylinder head done today, and we'll see how it goes. I am feeling okay for working 60 hours this week, but only flagging 40. It's a little butthurt. For some of you that want to know if it's a good time to be a tech, well, this is the life that you can have. Starting a job, finding out you're needing parts, trying to fill up the rest of your week with work because you were planning on this making your entire paycheck for the week. Yeah, stuff like that. Because when you work in a dealership, you don't make your appointments. Another person makes your appointments. So when they say, hey, you're going to do this engine, you're going to do this 40-hour ticket, you're like, okay. So I had to smash some elbows and break some arms to get this to get these parts overnighted. That's why I'm here on a Saturday. Because I said, hey, if we get these in fast, like I'll work on a Saturday. Because I need to. So I don't know about your shops, but if you're a senior master tech like me and you're paid senior master tech pay, you get written up if you do quick lube work. So when there's no senior master tech work to do, and you're like, oh, I'll just go to Express, I'll take their work, or I'll work the Express lane. Nope. You'll get written up, and that work that you did do, you'll get paid like $10 an hour. I need my cam carrier now. There it is. The nice thing, though, about getting all new stuff is I'm not going to have to clean any of the RTV off. That is kind of a nice thing. Just kind of a nice thing. In turn, though, I'm going to have to shim everything, which is because shimming Subaru sucks. Looking for my glue gun. I don't know where anything's at. My head is spinning. Oh, here, it's on the ground. I got some glue. All right. And it's clogged. If you do a lot of engine assembly, this Milwaukee M12 glue gun, it's the tits. Bro, dude, because you got a 15 position trigger. 15 position trigger on top of a 10 position dial indicator back here. So that means that every dial back here click has 15 steps over here. Do the math. Okay. I mean, no, seriously, do the math because I don't have my iPhone calculator. But that's a lot of variability there. And then, of course, as soon as you let off the trigger, that auto takes the tension off. And if you double tap your trigger, it auto retracts one full tooth click. So when Subaru was going through a big engine recall and we were gluing the snot out of some engines, um, your regular glue gun was driving me nuts. I was just getting a lot of hand pain just from repetitive use like this. It's and carpal tunnel pain. I was getting it like way up here in my elbows. So it's big game changer. I still don't know how my colleagues haven't switched over yet. And with the battery and a charger, 10 years ago I got that thing for $199, and I'm still riding on the original battery, for crying out loud. Calm down. I got 5 minutes to put the screws in. Criminy. Guys are mean. All right. Hi. Customer states screeching when turning check. Wait, did I do something? Okay. Okay, I rotated some tires and I did a filter and a battery and a battery service. Okay, so sure. Uh, sure. Screeching when. Oh, screeching when turning on. Oh, it's probably gonna need a belt. Okay. Yeah. Can you do me a favor and bring it in this bay for me? Thanks so much, and I'll take a look at it right away. Cause I got glue. I got a touch. I'm on a time sensitive thing right now. Nice kid. He's a new advisor. I don't know if anybody can hear the music I have on. I have to use my microphone so I don't get my channel shut down. But I'm using. I've been listening to Steven N. Seagal's nice little cover band that sings a lot of old 90s and 80s rock and roll. They're hilarious. They do a really good job. They are really, really good musicians and good singers, but they do a lot of Guns N' Roses and Iron Maiden and Metallica, but they're singing with accordions, banjos. So I do recommend give them a listen. You'll be hooked immediately. And they're really not trying to be funny about it. They're being dead serious. All right. So I'm going to give these bolts just a quick little spritz with the brake cleaner. Got to be aware of where your cam carrier bolts came out of because one of them, no, two of them are going to be swimming in oil. So make sure the cleanest ones get back into the middle and put all the trashy, dirty ones back on the outside. That's good. I'll take it from there, man. Thank you. Joe. Oh. Oh, I bet you I put that box on top of my screw gun. Yep. I like these Milwaukee screw guns because they have a low torque mode where as soon as they get any kind of resistance, they just stop. See? I call it assembly mode. I've I've tried to figure out like how much torque it really puts down, and it's like 7 foot-pounds. Okay, this goes down to 18 Newton meters. We start out doing our basic cross. Follow it with an X. Then we come back one column at a time from inside out, loosen it 180, and then outside in, back down to 18. We're doing this in a column format. No, sorry, I screwed up. See, I'm tired. Inside out, buddy. Inside out. No. Now loosen from the outside in. This is why your techs need AC. There we go. And then you clean up all the blood you left on the engine. Let's go see what's going on with this car they brought me. All I did was an oil change rotate on a 6. Oh, shit. That's water stains, baby. Okay, we still got radiator fluid in there. That's good. Somebody put a belt on this? That belt looks kind of new. No, that belt is not new. That's how many miles we're looking at, because they don't make these 6-cylinders anymore. 66,000. It's a 2019. Screeching when turning on. And I touched it last at 52. Yeah, we're just gonna have to just tell them they need a belt. Oh, Valvoline touched it last. Let's blame Valvoline. Valvoline. Yes, sir.
Did it for me on the drive.
Yeah.
The guys had done it a few days before.
Yeah.
I got a lady on the drive her remote start won't work.
Oh,
it looks
no.
like her Starlink and her button's not working. Would you mind seeing if what you turned on needs to be turned on? Remember, you turned something on.
The last Starlink with a remote start issue took me a week to get going.
Not communicating.
Yeah, that was an AT&T issue. We had to go through a lot of hoops.
Like you look at it real quick with the Chingasso and see if everything's turned on.
Okay. Not if the entire thing is down. So the way our new Starlink works is everything's patched to the AT&T towers. So if her profile is set up incorrectly through the Starlink network on the AT&T side, everything will be down. SOS will be down.
It was working, and then it stopped.
That's how the other customer was. It just
Really?
went kaput, and we had to replace the computer, and we had to rebuild the entire profile, and it took a week to get going. It's a nightmare. This ever since they overhauled the system, whenever there's a problem, it's a nightmare. This system either works or it doesn't. That's how that last lady was when she
The
said her
other one, the
stuff.
guy was trying to get service, and he couldn't get service.
Yeah,
He's got, I don't know if he has any Starlink features.
yeah.
Oh,
All I
he does
can,
have service.
yeah.
Yeah, I
All
feel
I
like
can do, all I can do right now is I can do two things. I can press the button, and I can see if it talks to somebody, and two, I can hook up a laptop and see if she has an active subscription. That's it.
so I looked. It's got an active subscription,
Okay.
and the button you can't talk in.
So then from there, we'll have to ground the car until Monday when I can actually get a hold of help desk people and start troubleshooting it. Yeah, because
That's what I was afraid of.
this is like a straight time diagnostic thing.
That's what I was afraid of. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, the last one did. Last one was not a peachy troubleshoot.
Thanks.
That was fun, guys. Hey, Mike, what's going on? Okie doke. So looks like the boys at Valvoline, if they did top off this lady's fluid, they got some courtesy fluid on the old belt, and it caused some old noisy issues. I'm willing to bet that everything's okay though. After a few startups, it burned it off. Um, Closer inspection of that tensioner belt, I can see. I can see. Oh wait. Oh wait. There's lots of interesting things on this front cover. Let me use my laser eyeballs some more. Can we see it on the video? You can't see it on the video unless, can I zoom in for you? No, I cannot zoom in for you. That sucks balls. So I can see it right there. There is a nice girthy quarter-inch of discolored metal. That tensioner is loose because I can also see some really pretty glue where it looks like this cover has been redone. Stay. Oh, look at that. There's your problem, lady. Who's the last fool who worked on this? Honestly. All right, all right, all right. That belt is not looking good. Hot. I loosened up the tensioner just a wee bit too much. On the money. Notice I tightened that bolt with a 1/4 inch. Tough freaking duh. Watch as I put this Megatron helmet on the correct way. You see? It looks like a Optimus Prime face. Alright, back to the engine. I'm gonna go take this car to the customer. I'll be back in 5. Where the hell's my ass lube at? Here it is. Found my ass lube. Ass lube. I prefer using the CRC version. I don't like using other stuff. Just because of the fact that this stuff is thicker. Doesn't run all over the place. Thin has a place, but CRC is my choice. Because I got to shim this thing later up on, I'm going to keep it off of my lifters. Once I get that all within spec, then I'll put my ass lube on there. These shafts, they are labeled. They're laser engraved. So you can't frig them up. Put them in so they're free spinning. And because we're putting all 4 new ones in, yes, left. Left as in sitting in the driver's seat left. These fuckers will go in. The right side will go in the left side. Beautiful sharp edges. This one says LI on it for left intake. All right. And of course we want lobes up so it free spins. My floor is dirty. Shut up. Okay, this driver's side, when you go to do this cap right here on the front by the phasers, it's different than the passenger side because there's going to be 2 holes here that have to be glued. The passenger side doesn't have that. Just be aware of it. And as a reminder, if you weren't here for last stream, we're working on an FB engine. And if you can't remember the difference between an FB and an FA, just remember B stands for base. Base is in no turbo. A stands for awesome because it has a turbo. So I feel really good now when I did these head gaskets that I actually took the caps off and I looked at the friggin' caps because there would have been no way to tell that this thing needed cams. I feel better about doing my job. Nothing like giving yourself an attaboy, even though you're not making any hours. but I can smooth out. Whenever you're gluing engines together, try to reduce the amount of finger painting you do. Leaving your beads standing up is preferred. Okay, these center caps here, they have arrows mark the front of the engine. They also have an E and an I. I, of course, for intake, E for exhaust. Same with my rear caps. They are marked E and I. These bolts will also be 18 newtons. Now, the instructions do not call for backing these bolts off and retorquing them, but I prefer to do it anyways because I feel that it makes a huge improvement on the glue. For some reason, everybody else's cam carriers keep coming back. Mine never do. Maybe they're just going to another shop because they just completely hate my work. I don't know. But all this precision machinery, I've just read up on enough of it, and you're never going to get it to go back together. I didn't undo this one. You're never going to get it to go back together the exact way the first time you smash it back together. That's it. All right, I'm gonna hold off on doing the shimming today. I'll do it on Monday, just because of the amount of headache that I have. Yeah, that's what I'll call it. It's just too damn hot. I haven't gotten enough sleep. I'm kind of in a manual labor mode, anyways. Uh, all these old parts gotta go back to warranty, so I have to save the boxes and the old parts. You can't have them. I'll make sure they get my blood. Just still got injectors on it. Oh my gosh. Well, it's nice to know that that injector bolt was not tight. I'm just gonna end up fixing this whole engine for this customer. Son of a bee. I did end up finding this technician. It's not one of ours. He's at another garage upstate, and they did fire him. He is a piece of shit. They said because he didn't do anything right. He would just impact everything together. Everything just got ugga So yeah, I'm gonna be on the lookout for everything. I didn't want that anyways. Another advantage of a cheap engine stand. They're light. I can do that. Another good thing, I'll advertise this. It's called PMP. It's by GAT. You get them at the vitamin shoppy or you'll find it online. You want the stim free, that's caffeine free. This stuff is amazing. It's it's like an energy drink without the caffeine. So I call it a B12 cocktail. It's just full of B12 and niacin. One scoop of this, even if you're tired, you'll feel like you have energy. Because I hate having caffeine on the job. It just makes me perform worse. It gives me the jitters, and I don't think as well. I have the reverse. Caffeine just turns me into like a legit knuckle dragger. All I do is just go what hit things and no. Well, that was loose. Missing. Missing a screw out of the valve cover. That was loose. Loose. Really loose. Really loose. Like, that's why I got the ratchet this time because some of y'all were saying, like, how do you know they're loose? You were using an impact gun last time. I'm using my weakest ratchet this time, and I was literally just kind of going like this. Dude, this cordless ratchet is 10 years old, and this is an original battery. It has no impact on it whatsoever. I need a screwdriver. I expected a better fight. Just making sure that all this equipment is in the right direction, because I'm pretty sure on the other side of the cam carrier, that stuff was all boogered up. I want to see if any of this stuff is tight. So we're not going to go in the reverse direction. That's not how you test to see if something's tight. I literally have to try and tighten it. We'll start with the caps. Okay, now the cam carrier. So everything is torqued to a minimum of 18 newtons. Now we can put it in reverse and we can see if they were over torqued. If I have to exert more than I'm up to 28, 29, 30 newtons, 38 newtons. Oh my gosh, 40 newton meters to crack that bolt. God damn, dude. Let's see what this one is. 40, 40, 37. All of them. 35, 31, 40, 43, 40. Okay, so basically, whatever you torque something down to, you should not have to exert the same amount of force to untorque it. So you can test this on your lug nuts. Go tighten down your lug nuts to 80 foot-pounds. You will not need 80 foot-pounds to untorque it. There's some great calculus behind that. Glad I'm getting all new hardware because this is all trash. If you're wondering if engine oil on an open wound hurts, yes. The answer is yes. Yes, I can catch my fingernail in there. There's scoring. Ooh. Yep. There's some bad scoring right there. Really catch my fingernails in there. Same amount in that one. Oh, Jesus. God damn. Yeah, look at that. Friggin' shot. Traditionally, when we do head gaskets, the cam carrier assembly is taken off as a unit. And the instructions say you don't have to do this. I always look at this stuff. I always look at this stuff. And you should too. Look at that. That shaft is fucked. You're probably saying, yeah, where's the metal? Yeah, the metal's in there. You're right. But I can't condemn an entire engine for like pico bits of oil, man. We just have to cross our fingers that it all fell into the sump and it got filtered out, okay? It's all we can do. I'm not flipping the bill for it. Warranty only goes so far. Cause yeah, you're right. I could probably split this block and go look at the crank and say, psh, crank is shot, need new case halves, blah 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 blah. Guess what? It's an Econo box. I'd say with the amount of oil changes that this lady put into it, she's lucky she's getting what she's getting. Regardless of what this last guy did. There, what time is it now? I'm not watching the clock. We'll see how far we get. It's supposed to work till 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's 40 minutes. I should be able to get the cylinder head off, clean it up, put it on, and stab on the next cam carrier. What do you think? If I don't trip and fall. Ooh, do I got the... Yeah, hey. I do, I got... Yeah, so we got the circular here, number 16 for 2023. It's on page 7 or page 7. Do these quarter-inch extensions with the built-in spring swivels. I got some. Dudes, I like them. Okay. Now, I got them when they first launched. They came with a quarter-inch and a 3/8 set. The 3/8 right now are 126. Well, they had them 3/8 and quarter-inch for 250 as a bundle. But they are so nice to have when you're doing interior work, and they hold up beautifully on the electric ratchets. I'm a big fan into the foam trays now. Everyone's doing foam trays, and I think that's about the only thing I can say negative about them. Is Matco isn't on the foam tray thing yet. You know, I'll make my own foam tray, I guess. Because when you kind of have everything, eventually you start getting in the organization. You want everything to look pretty. Okay, that pry bar fell into a puddle of oil. I'm pissed off. Yuck. Thanks. Okay, getting these cam carriers up off the cylinder head. If you're a Subaru guy, listen closely. You do not need to go from the outside. Get one of these lady slippers, okay? Get underneath here with your lady slipper and pry up on top of the bolt head, okay? I'm on top of this. I'm on top of the cylinder head bolt. Look at that, okay? Then using the nice round spike, I can get into this gap. Ta-da! And I'm gonna throw this trash over here in this box. Here's my magnet tray. There she is. Just check our comments. Hey, Unbleached. How you doing? It's good to see you again, man. No, I didn't send your hammer out. I'm kind of a loser like that. What's up, Second Amendment? Yeah, man. If you want to be a tech, you better learn how to work on computers. That's all I can tell you, man. What's up, Mafia? Oh, I'll get her out. I'll get her out. I actually made sure it made it into my car this time, okay? That's the important thing. I'll put an I'm sorry note in there. You'll get something special. I'm usually better about getting stuff sent out. You'll get something, man. I feel bad about it. Hey. Mm-mm. I'm gonna use this, and I'm gonna use this. So worst thing about doing too many things at once is you don't put your things back. Ah, I found it. There it is. It's on my torque wrench. So if you do head studs a lot, Sonex makes these great half-inch sockets where they got your triple squares already. So half-inch to triple square. They're impact rated. Amazing. I got them on the Jungle site. I got all four of them. They had a 10 mil, 12 mil, a 14, and I think some sort of like 5/8 SAE size for like a hundo. They're all loose. Mm. I love the smell of head bolts in the morning, you know? I don't know what it was about that smell. I could just, that's like a distinguished smell. It's like the one smell that I could pick out of every smell in the world. Next to my wife's fart, it's the smell of a head bolt being cracked. It's so fucking weird, dude. All right, again, sharp edges. I've already sliced my hand 5 times in this video. Oh, damn it. Send me band-aids. I got to get this EGR cooler off. And this EGR cooler does actually serve a very valuable purpose on this engine. We get a lot of hot rod kids that blow these engines up. And bear in mind, these are econo engines. These are economy car engines, and they they throw EGR deletes on here, and then they get all mad. They're like, "Why would somebody make an EGR delete and for something that would hurt my engine?" Well, I guess I'm jumping the gun on my story. So they install an EGR delete on this engine. This is an economy engine, bear in mind, because they think it's going to make them more horsepower. When in fact, the EGR is giving them horsepower and they don't know it. And it's actually extending the life of their engine because they don't understand how all this new engine stuff works. And it's giving them better economy. And it's extending the life of their plugs and their service and so many other things. But no, they don't care. You know, their $10 mod that they saw on the internet just exceeds the millions of dollars worth of education that these engineers have. That's all they know. So they put that delete on there. They come on in. Their cylinders are melted. Well, the EGR is in charge of cooling your cylinders. I'm not giving you warranty, you dumbass. Just check out those cylinders. You think that car needed a top engine cleaner? They're a little wet because you gotta remember we've had the engine like sitting on this side of the cylinder head for a while, so we'll clean it up. Pistons look like trash. Intake manifold looks like trash. See this? This right here, this goes inside the block. It has to go back inside the block. This is a water cooling jacket. If you don't put that back in the block, and your car is warming up in the cold weather, let's talk about the north maybe, up north, you're going to get a startup code for engine warm-up problem. More than likely, somebody did a head gasket job or they did a short block replacement, and they didn't put these things back. That's all they're there for. They're there to prevent icing around the. They're there to prevent icing around the cylinder sleeves if you had your water mixture wrong. And they're also there to help with water warm up because they displace some of the water in the coolant jackets. So there is an algorithm that the computer knows for how fast the water is supposed to warm up to the atmospheric temperature. So yes, if you're up north and it's freezing your balls temperature outside and the customer keeps getting a check engine light and it says like engine warm up problem, something like that, stupid, it's those. It's those. You got to tell them that you got to pull the engine, take the cylinder heads off, and either they're broken or they're not there. That's all it is. It's 100% chance they're just not there. Ugh. There's these little plastic runners that go inside the cylinder heads. Uh, Sometimes they get forgotten about, and if they don't go back in, then the air doesn't swirl correctly inside the cylinders, and you'll get knock, and you'll get misfires all goddamn day. And you can change spark plugs and fuel injectors all you want. It'll never fix it. You might even get a check engine light for a what do they call it? It's like a what do they call it? Like a lean burn. It's like a weird thing. It says like I don't know. Fuck, I can't think of it now. It says something like it's going lean and it's going rich at the same time. I don't know. Something about it lean and rich and consistency. But I guarantee those aren't there. And if it's an old style EJ, then it's the TGV. Somebody deleted them out of there. All right, enough about me. We don't need you anymore. See? I put it on a four-wheel dolly. Isn't that the smartest thing ever? I bet you're all jealous now. Except for that one dick in the comments who's going, oh, well, we have a cabinet washer. Well, fuck you, dude. My shop is too much of a cheap whore to go buy a cabinet washer. I wish I had a cabinet washer. God, that'd be amazing. I keep telling them how many thousands of dollars a year we could save in labor by having a cabinet washer. I worked in one shop that did have a cabinet washer. It's the best thing ever, man. I was like, having a cabinet, trying to convince your boss to get a cabinet washer is like trying to convince your dad in the 50s to get a dishwasher. He just kind of like looks at his old woman and go, I got a wife. That's what it's like. He's like, you could do it. You're working with cylinder heads in here? Here's my trick, man. You get yourself one of these plastic radiator containers. You cut out the bottom of it like this. so it stays like this and it crushes. And now I can I can lay it on there like that. Uh-huh. Yeah. I don't thick it up. It also doubles as a container. Yeah, I haven't even been in here 2 seconds. Look, these cheap ass nitro gloves they buy us. I swear these gloves come with holes already in them. Yeah, I get the big stuff off with the scraper, and then I come back and I get the flea poop with the whizzy wheel. Give these runners a quick little courtesy. Get all that gingivitis out of there. They're pretty nasty. Okay. Now there's a ton of carbon right up here on the inside of the piston ring. And I am just going to gently just kind of work the inside of that. If you're a rookie, I recommend you don't do this. And I only recommend doing this with the Milwaukee because it has a very, very dialed in speed. I'm going at about 100 RPMs with this. And if you're asking if these things should go to a machine shop, yeah, the answer is yeah. Yeah, they need to go to a machine shop. Warranty don't pay for a machine shop, and the customer says, my warranty should pay for the machine shop, and I said, your warranty doesn't pay for a machine shop. So I said, I can give it a courtesy wipe, and that's about the extent of it. So they said, fine, do that. I think customers have a false idea that warranty wants to look out for them. I'm using these nice little soft plastic scrapers. I want to get as much as this out of here. I'm going to use this as my rinse now. The object with these plastic scrapers is to get as much foreign debris off this cylinder head, and that is gasket material, carbon, you name it, off of here. Because I'm going to come back with a roll-lock, and that roll-lock is going to catch all that debris, and it's going to turn it into a grinding compound, and it's going to polish into this cylinder head. That's why it's really important to get as much of this loose carbon out of the piston face as you can. I've seen a lot of rookies come in with those roll-locks, and then it looks like that they polish these cylinder heads with sandpaper when they're done, and it's because they were just, every time that roll-lock came around on the lip, it just grabbed some of that carbon off, and it got caught in the bristles. Okay, now I have a Scotch-Brite pad, and this one is tailored up a little bit. This is not a brand new one. This one has actually been sitting in my solvent tank. I actually leave it here sitting and getting softened up in the solvent. So it's kind of like almost like a washcloth, but it's clean. It's been prepped. So I use a fresh one every single time, but I don't like how rough it is. But I know that if I leave it in here a day in advance, it'll be soft. Does that make sense? But I'm not pressing hard. I'm just using it as that first kind of roughness just to get this last bit of crud out of all the cracks that could work its way when I get that pad going. Because you got to think, if you're worried about this, wait till you see this pad going, because whatever that pad catches, it's just going to do a million times damage than what this does. This is working great. Just knocking down that gasket material. I'm going to be honest with you, when it comes to cylinder head prep too, it's, man, there's some rough people out there. And about 2/3 of them giving advice out there don't even do this for a living. Every single one of their comments start with "my dad," or "I used to," or "when I," which means they were fired from. Yeah, that looks really good. And again, keep in mind, I'm really not using pressure. I'm just using the weight of my brush, and I'm only focusing in the spots where the gasket material was pressed, which is around the piston area and on the outside. Okay, we're done there. So when I use Rolox, Subaru insists that we use Rolox to clean cylinder heads for warranty work. If this was CP, I would just insist the customer go get this thing machined, and then we'd give it a bath at the machine shop. Um, we'll use white Rolox. I'm going to use the Milwaukee M12 polisher. I really like this one because I can dial in the ripums. I have two settings here. Setting number 1 is 0 to 2800 RPM, and setting 2 is 0 to 8300 RPM. I'll use setting 1. I always do this with a lubricant. Okay. And when you're doing this, if you've ever used a floor buffer, think of this gun like a floor buffer. When you tilt up on it, it's want to go right, and when you lean back on it, it's want to go left. Key words, tilting and leaning, not pushing and pulling. If you want practice with this, you can use a like a polisher you would use for a car, but don't do it on your car because you're probably gonna fuck up your car. Do it on like the ground or something like that, and you'll watch it just grab everything with traction. But you'll find that sweet spot where you're just kind of just going up and down and up and down, and you're making these small circles. Now this is not always the best procedure to clean cylinder heads. I know if you're working on some straight six engines, it's no bueno, man. It's machine all the time. I hate this stuff. Stick to what your manufacturer says. I'm also doing my best to not even let the weight of the tool get on here. Because if you look up the specs for this cylinder head, my run out on this cylinder head is 1/1000th of an inch. Bro, that's like human hairs. So I can't even get a feeler gauge that thick. And if I did have one, every time I go to use it, I'd probably mess it up. Shit's stupid. So I think the last time I honestly tried to get Subaru to pay for machining a cylinder head, they threw a temper tantrum, and they were like, "We want to see specs." And I told them I was like, "I can't honestly give you the specs of that cylinder head without a bridge port. Like, I'm gonna need a bridge port to actually give you the run out on this thing." And they're like, "Oh, you should have the equipment." I was like, "Really?" I was like, "You tell me where to go buy the feeler gauge for that." So we put the cylinder head on. It had combustion issues, like I said it would. And my shop ended up yelling at me, of course, because I said, I fucking told you so. No one believed me that it had run out because, like, of course, nobody could find a feeler gauge that small to prove it. They send it to a shop, not even like not even the garage that, not the machine shop even had feeler gauges that small. They didn't even have like the ability to measure something that small. They're like, that's stupid. Who measures anything that small? And I was like, apparently these guys. And they're like, well, we don't build stuff that small. Like, they said even I said their machine that would even machine this head, they're like, it starts out at like 1/1000th of an inch. And they're like, this thing has a 1/1000th tolerance. They're like, that's dumb. I says, thank you. I'm going to give this a little touch up. We'll call it done. And I think I'll sign off after this, guys. So, hey, thanks for sticking around. Wanted to get some more done on a Saturday, but, um, you know, came in, made some progress. We'll hang out again on Monday afternoon. We'll get a little bit further along with this engine. I'll sign back on when we're about to start doing the prepping of the deck, start cleaning up the bottom of the engine. Hopefully we'll get to a point where we can time this baby up. If any of y'all know how I can get some better cameras to link into the feed, I'd really like to do that for y'all. because it seems like the phone camera is very low res. I'm using an iPhone 14 Pro Max, and I thought that the YouTube Live would take a better advantage of it, and I am using Wi-Fi, so I don't get it. I'm pretty smart with computers, but sometimes I just don't know where to find the answers. Um, but yeah, with that said, thanks for the hangout, guys. I'll look at the chat, answer any questions, and then do my sign off. No, I don't work every Saturday. I only come in when I got some leftovers to do. All the lifter jobs and Subi head gasket jobs I've done, I think I've sent heads up. Yeah, man. But when work on Bleach, when you work with warranty, they're fucking dicks about paying for machine work. They really are. Use my laptop with OBS. Yeah. Okay. I'll see if I can do that with my helmet cam. That's a good idea. I'll have to do some experimenting. Mobile only does 720. Okay. I'll keep that in mind. Thanks for the information, guys. Toodles.